Hello, vinyl community. Time for a quick and dirty contest entry. Sloop John H is celebrating 100 subscribers. He's well over that now. I think he's quickly skyrocketing to 200 subscribers. So congratulations, John. And you have a very interesting contest. So I wanted to be sure and enter. Plus, I really like your channel and. Yeah, so I wanted to support it. Anyway, very interesting questions. You gave us a lot of homework. Anyway, so let's get down to it. First of all, parents' records. I realize now that the music from my youth that I heard around my parents has affected my taste in music. So that's probably why I love everything now, literally everything. So we'll start with my dad. He didn't have the biggest influence on me in my youth, primarily because my parents were divorced when I was 2 years old, but we would spend summers with my dad, and I have a memory of us. He had this green van that had an 8-track player, and I have a memory of us driving back. My mom lived in California, here in California, and so obviously we lived with her most of the time, and then we would spend summers with my dad back in Illinois. So he would drive out to California, pick us up, and drive back to Illinois. So in this green van, he had an 8-track player, and one of the main things we would listen to is the type of music he liked, which was like classic country music. So this is an example. It's not one of his. I recently picked this one up, but this is an example of what we would have been listening to. So this is an 8-track of Kenny Rogers. I think his best album, although his earlier stuff with First Edition is pretty much up there too. But I mean, this is the music I grew up listening to. The Gambler, classic song, classic. So this is definitely something he would have been listening to, and as an adult, I now appreciate classic country, and I think that's because those seeds were planted. So now on to my mom's music. I can appreciate some of the stuff she listened to. She listened to a lot of religious music, but other than the religious music, you'll see. So this is totally her taste, not my taste, but Julio Iglesias, basically a sort of bilingual crooner, I guess you might call him. Yeah. This is actually one of her. Actually, the next few records are actually her records. She gave them to me. So when she found out I was getting back into vinyl, so I do appreciate that. Another one. This one, he was more of like a teen heartthrob, but Sean Cassidy, Under Wraps. This is totally her taste. Frankie Valli is the word. Oh man. Now, this is the one that I have the strongest memory of. Discopedia Volume 4. This got a lot of play, and I specifically remember her dancing around the living room with my sister on her hip. My sister was a little baby at the time, and dancing around to this. This is one of the reasons I originally hated disco music. I've since learned that there are far better songs than what are on here. So YMCA, Shake Your Groove Thing, I Will Survive, I Was Made for Dancing. YMCA in particular, and probably Shake Your Groove Thing too. Yeah. If you want someone to hate disco, play those songs. Okay, I'm hiding my notes here. I just realized I have some notes here. Okay, so basically, I've since learned to appreciate even disco, but beyond those songs, those two songs in particular, I pretty much hate. All right, so the next question you had is Reissue. And originally, this was going to be Sun City Girls. I wrote Shining Path, but that wasn't the name of the album. Um, Torch of the Mystics. But in a previous video, I showed it had been released on vinyl and CD, so I got it in both formats. So I looked, and my next choice would be one of my absolute favorite albums. It was just kind of a one-off album by The Laws from 1990. However, I'm excited because it's being released on vinyl. So although the price tag is pretty hefty, so Amazon has the pre-order at $35.18, and it's coming out August 26th. So I mean that's a bit expensive for my taste. So how about they release an affordable version of that album? That album is easily in my top 10. I absolutely love that album, The Laws. If you're not familiar with that album, definitely check it out. The song on there was There She Goes. There she goes, there she goes again. Anyway, I just embarrassed myself, but that's okay. All right, so the next question was Blind Buy. Now, this was a fairly early Blind Buy. This is Dag, Righteous. And this one, I didn't do any research on. I just loved the cover, and I thought, you know what, I'm just going to buy it. So I did. I put it on, and let me tell you, it is some funky music. Funky music. It's more like, modern funk. So, like a funk rock band. I think they're considered a bar band, but like a funk bar band, basically, if you want to consider that. And that kind of undersells the album because I love this album. As soon as I heard it, I was like, whoa, this is like one of my best blind buys ever. And it still is, really. So I love that one. The next question was, where do I like to buy vinyl? Of course, we love to go to record stores. I mean, who doesn't? But I actually really like, although I do a lot of, especially lately, I do a lot of purchases on Amazon, of course, and eBay. I really, really like buying vinyl in thrift stores, particularly at the Pet Adoption Center thrift shop, because for me, I don't like to say killing two birds or catching two birds. I forget how that saying goes. Killing two birds with one stone. That's it. But see, my wife and I, we change it to catching two birds with one hand. So, because we love birds. Anyway, so it's basically catching two birds with one hand. First of all, I'm supporting a cause I love, and second of all, I'm getting a great deal. So on some stuff. And what I like about thrift shops is you really feel like you're digging, and you have like no clue what you're gonna expect. I mean, if you walk into a record store, you have a fair idea of pretty much what you're gonna find in a lot of cases. But a thrift store, I mean, it could be complete junk. It could be in horrible condition, or you might find, like I have, a handful of Elton John records, or a handful of Beatles solo records. I once bought a Charlie Parker album for 25 cents. that kind of stuff. So I definitely like thrift stores. So that would be my answer, and in particular, a pet adoption center, thrift shop. So, and then the last one, you wanted to see an import. And this is officially no longer a quick and dirty video. It's over 10 minutes, but it's for a good cause. So, all right. This, at the time when I ordered it, somehow I was using the eBay app and it wasn't very clear on there that it was an import until I received an email from the seller saying, you know what, the shipping is not going to be $4.99 because we're shipping from Japan, but because it was unclear, we're going to go ahead and do it for you. So thank you to them. So this is a Japanese import, and you probably see on the back there's some Japanese writing. And if Alan Doss is watching this, he likes to see track listings. So I may have shown him the track listing on this one before, but I'm not sure. Anyway, yeah. So I was thrilled to get a very inexpensive. I think shipping included. It was like $10. So and it's in great condition. It doesn't have an OB strip. I don't care. But yeah, Japanese pressing of the Monkees' first album, their debut album. Obviously a much different cover than the American release. So anyway, before we hit 12 minutes, congratulations again, John. Everybody subscribe to Sloop John H. Great guy. Huge Beach Boys fan. He likes other stuff too, but huge Beach Boys fan. All right. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. We're over 12 minutes. Darn it.